You know what, I came away from watching this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown and I thought to myself, bloody hell, that was a bit of a rubbish show that didn't really get out of second gear. But then I looked down at my script here in preparation to shout at you in a really aggressive manner for no good reason whatsoever, and I realised there was lots of great little moments sprinkled throughout like that man with the salt. Oh, Miz and Morrison being world-class knobheads once again. The Intercontinental Championship once again for the second week in a row being in such a prominent position and feeling bloody important. More of this, please. Cesaro snapping and finally showing some balls the size of that beach ball he popped a long time ago. Whoa! The realisation that Titus O'Neil is someone we need to cherish, a role model, a fantastic human being, what a bloke. And finally, the final segment of the night had a little bit of a hint into some interesting things that could come in the weeks and months to follow. Bloody hell, quite a good episode when you think about it, really. Hit the intro, please, intro man. How are you doing up there? WTF! And we're starting off with that there because I read so many times over the interweb that earlier this week Ali was secretly, quietly, on the hush-hush, moved from Friday Night SmackDown to Monday Night Raw, even though he still appeared in the opening graphic thingies for this week's Friday Night SmackDown. And I know what you might be saying at home. Well, Ross, this week's SmackDown was recorded on Monday, presumably edited through Monday and Tuesday and maybe even Wednesday. That's why he's still there. The change happened after that, maybe. I don't know why I'm saying this, but there you go. But this secretive, quiet transfer for Ali presumably means he is not the Friday Night SmackDown hacker. If indeed the Friday Night SmackDown hacker is still a thing. It's been a while since you've seen the hacker, isn't it? So that begs the question then, who the hell is the hacker? Let me know down there who you think it is. And I'm asking a question that has just popped into my head right here, right now. Why is that thing there not the dirt sheet? Why on earth is that just Miz TV featuring John Morrison? All I'm asking for, WWE, is a bit of justice for the longest reigning 5-star wrestling champion of all time, Mr. Johnny Drip Drip. However, Johnny, I'm going to make the following sentence from Michael Cole a huge WTF moment because he said, "I'm never shy about stirring up trouble. The Miz and John Morrison have Mandy Rose as their guests, and that might turn this episode of Miz TV into a powder keg of confrontation and confessional drama tonight on SmackDown, because yes, that is a completely natural sentence any human being would say in everyday life, isn't it? What? This is SmackDown Live, the house that AJ Styles imagined in his head and maybe even built on The Sims. Now, as we all know, in a previous life, AJ Styles told us, a cultaholic, that professional wrestling is all about the little things. So AJ Styles getting this teeny tiny minute detail of calling Friday Night SmackDown SmackDown Live incorrect. Well, that means something.
What she say? Say, shut up, Renee. What she say? Say, shut up, Renee.
And then we have Renee Young saying to AJ Styles, that title, that Intercontinental title, is the only title that has evaded you. And I'm asking Renee Young, where is AJ Styles' Universal title? Where is AJ Styles' Raw or SmackDown tag team titles? Where is AJ Styles' 24/7 title? Where is AJ Styles' trophy, his award for being Mr. Flat Earth 2020? Where are they? And then we have the in-ring debut of Matt Riddle, and just because of the allegations levied against Matt Riddle from earlier this week, I feel it would be wrong for me to stand here and be jovial like I like to be on these WTF Moments videos about anything he did on last night's show. And obviously it goes without saying that all of us here at Cultaholic.com fully commend those brave souls who came forward as part of the speaking out movement on Twitter over the past few days. We're fully behind you. But I did find find it funny that AJ Styles said, no shirt, no shoes, no championship title match for you. So in that moment there, we learned that if you are a SmackDown superstar and you want a shot at AJ Styles' Intercontinental Championship, you need to wear a shirt. And that provides us with a WTF moment, because you look down the Friday Night SmackDown roster and how many people can you see wearing a shirt? Wrestlers like to get those nips out, don't they? Haha! Yeah. What was all that about? We have Jeff Hardy daydreaming as that fella there tries to put a microphone on Jeff Hardy's collar. He shakes Jeff Hardy. Jeff, I just want to put this microphone on you, pal. Jeff, are you alive? Jeff, do you have a pulse? Jeff, you appear to be frozen in time. Slap out of it, you bitch. And watching that little bit of daydreaming at the start of that little segment there, I was thinking, surely not. Surely they would not do it, would they? They wouldn't make a part of this Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus storyline, which of course is borrowing heavily from Jeff Hardy's real life issues. Jeff, relapsing and that. They wouldn't do that, would they? I've just watched Jeff lose at Backlash to Sheamus, look utterly devastated in the ring. Then the next time we've seen him on Friday Night SmackDown, nobody can get through to him. He's daydreaming. Let's see how this one plays out, of course, but in my opinion, and I might be wrong here, I am just a useless hack on the internet. I'm just a fan. Like you, my opinion doesn't matter, but that was not a good sign at what could potentially come from here. And then, of course, later in the night, we saw Sheamus himself reveal that on next week's SmackDown, he will be holding a toast in honor of Jeff Hardy. And oh my God, everything's aligning in the worst jigsaw puzzle in history, isn't it? Hopefully it's more like Jericho and Punk, but instead of whiskey, it's Guinness. And hopefully, just like Jericho went arse over tit in the whiskey, Sheamus goes arse over tit in the Guinness. But bloody hell, if they've got Jeff Hardy drinking on next week's SmackDown, that's gonna be rough. Oh, please don't. And then Jeff Hardy said, the struggle is real. And in that moment, Jeff Hardy's really real storyline became a meme. Now we all know that professional wrestling is for the kids, and who knows, Bruce Pritchard might have been sat at home, his son Kane, yes, it's spelled Kane. It is absolutely fantastic, a name I would love to give my son one day. Maybe Kane came home and said, Dad, the struggle at school, it's real. Bruce has thought to himself, wow, the kids say that. We'll have Jeff Hardy in the midst of this really real storyline say that. And that's where the WTF moment lies for me, in the context of everything that is Jeff Hardy and this storyline and the places this storyline comes from. What the fuck? 8 inches of height between those two, apparently. 8 inches! Kayla Braxton said this herself, and I know this to be complete and utter bollocks, because I know if I waltz down to my local pizzeria, order a small pizzas, of course, are traditionally 7 inches in diameter, the 7-inch circles, and I know if I was to stick that 7-inch circle on top of Chad Gable's head, he would be taller than Mojo Rawley. Everything is pizza.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
And here we have a direct quote from Corey Graves when he said, I've known Mojo for a long time, and I find it hard to believe he's embarrassed about anything. And I was thinking, even that, Corey. WWE dressed him up like a human condom and painted his face to make it look like a navy blue ballpoint pen popped all over his face. For a man of Mojo's talents with microphone in hand, yes, I firmly believe that. I'm not being sarcastic. He can do hype, he can do subtle. Mojo's range is absolutely fantastic. For a man of Mojo's talents, that has got to be embarrassing. It's got to be. Mago. Chad Gable beats Mojo Rawley in an upset, said Michael Cole. And I was thinking, an upset, Michael Cole? It's Mojo. And then Big Dick Tony himself showed a massive amount of big dick energy when he snapped and shouted, 8 years! 8 years you've treated me like this, Michael Cole, Corey Graves, WWE in general. Are you freaking kidding me? And I don't know about you at home, but I felt that one. I felt that one so much, I thought it was real, even though I knew in the back of my mind this can't be real, because this week's SmackDown was pre-recorded on Monday. say if it was real, it would have been cut out, but it felt so real, and I felt it so much because he's absolutely spot on, isn't he? I had to include it in these WTF moments. Come on, Cesaro, show some more bollocks. I want to see more of this stuff. He's fantastic. We all know this, don't we? It's such a shame how the last 8 years have panned out, but go on, Big Dick Tony. And then we have a direct quote from The Miz to John Morrison when he said, "You had the Universal Champion Braun Strowman pinned, but I pulled you off." Because it means wanking. She's back! Whoa, whoa! After being screwed at Money in the Bank 2020, after being denied a rematch with Bayley, a sort of stipulation where Sasha Banks can't stick her no good nose in, after being silenced on Twitter in the midst of a brand new gimmick change, after not being featured on SmackDown since being screwed out of a championship match, finally, Tamina made her triumphant return to Friday Night SmackDown, and Bayley and Sasha, I don't know if you realise this, but you are buggered. And if you haven't seen that video package there about Titus O'Neil and his exploits outside the ring, please go out of your way to watch it. We all need to be more like Titus O'Neil. What a guy. And here we have a direct quote from Corey Graves when this image here was on screen. "We all know Braun is keeping a close eye on Bray Wyatt and the Firefly Funhouse." And Corey Graves, you can say that again, pal. How close of an eye does Braun Strowman need to see the bloody television screen? He must need glasses, and this is going to go horribly out of focus, but bear with me. I'm going to do this, right? I'm sorry for it being out of focus, but who the hell watches television like that? And then we ended the show with what appeared to be the return of cult leader Bray Wyatt. And this is bloody interesting. Could we potentially see Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, and cult leader Bray Wyatt all be in-ring competitors for the new Bray Wyatt? Yes, some people might want to make comparisons to Matt Hardy in All Elite Wrestling, but you know, him and Bray Wyatt, best pals, aren't they? Why can't they have the same gimmick with different characters? But this got me to thinking. We've gone back to the cult leader Bray Wyatt potentially being a character on SmackDown here in the year 2020. Why not take things one step further? Brother Bray, of course, Bray Wyatt is my biological brother. Why not have Husky Harris be a gimmick for yourself here in the year 2020? Lure a Braun Strowman, one of your opponents, into a false sense of security. My God, it's only Husky Harris, they'll say. And then you flatten them because you are an army tank fitted with a Ferrari engine. I think I've lost the plot, everybody. So yeah, the cult leader's back. And then we end these WTF moments for what was a deceptively good episode of SmackDown with the realisation that I don't think we saw big baldy bastard Baron Corbin, Vince McMahon's favourite, the man who Vince McMahon believes all the ladies fancy. And I never thought I'd see the day.
The end is nigh, the end is nigh, time to run away, the end is nigh, nigh.